Hi everyone, so welcome back to NonnyPlus. My name is Stanley Kinifuna and I'm your C Sharp instructor. So today we'll be looking at something very important. I will teach you something powerful in C Sharp, but we are not starting with code yet. We are not doing anything code for now. I just want you to understand what I'm going to teach you. So let's say for instance, or let me just start with an example. You walk into a restaurant, you sit down, you feel relaxed, and instead of going to the kitchen to cook your food, you just call the waiter and say, please bring me rice and chicken. And a few minutes later, your food is ready. But after going to the restaurant, you order for your food, and just 2 to 3 minutes, they bring your food. So the question here is that, did you cook the food yourself? No. You simply gave a command and someone else handle the work for you and bring your food. That is exactly what we want to teach today. So that scenario is what we call method. The method is just like a personal assistance. You call it, it does the job for you, it gives you the results. You create the method, you call that method, it does the job for you. Instead of creating the method multiple times in your project, you can just implement the method once and you start calling that method. Once you call the method, please give me food, to just prepare the food for you and send you your food without you cooking it by yourself. So that is what we call method. So this is one of the powerful tools I want to teach you in C Sharp today. C Sharp methods. So another example I'm going to give you is like, let me just write a code for you so that you know. Like the restaurant, let me use that restaurant for instance. We have a restaurant. Okay, so we have a static void, and this is the method. So this order food is the method. We have created the method. So what will be the implementation inside this method? We have console the right line, CW, it will be your food is ready. So we have created this method and put it in one of our projects. So if we are trying to use this particular method in another folder, you can just call this particular method here, order food, and it will print you this result without you creating this method multiple times in your file or in your project. So if I want to call this method now in another file, I can just come here, or in the same project, I can just come here and say order food. So this, I've called this method to execute the code inside. So this method is in line 42. So once I run this, it will just print me this result. Your food is ready, because I've called the method. So just like, instead of you repeating this method in multiple places, you can just call it once, and you can just create it once and start calling it in multiple places. So that's what I did here. So that's how we have order food. So you just go to a restaurant, you place an order, and your food is ready. So that's the method. So another example I'm going to give you like an ATM machine. So let's go deeper. So you walk into an ATM machine, you insert your card. Let's say ATM machine. You insert your card and you type 500 naira. So once you type 500 naira, so what gives you the cash, right? Maybe you type want to withdraw 1,000 naira. So you type 1,000 naira and click on withdraw. So that method you are calling, you click on withdraw. So once you click on that withdraw, it will just call that method. Please give this person 1,000 naira or 1,000, 2,000 naira to this person. So the machine gives you the cash. So what you have done basically is what you have called a method called a withdrawal method in that ATM machine to withdraw your money for you, which is 1,000 naira. So let's say for instance, we put static int, let's say withdrawal. We have the int an amount, return amounts. Yeah, so we have created this method withdraw. Let's just look after later. Created this method withdraw, and what we are passing is an integer of an amount, and what we are returning is this amount. So let's say, for instance, in your code, you say int money is equals to withdraw 1,000 here. Let me put 1,000 here so that. So what I've done here, I created a variable called money, that is the integer called money, and I call this method withdraw method. And what am I passing? I'm passing this amount, which is 1,000 naira. So if I do CW, that is to print it, I can just equally pass this money inside. So what basically this will now tell me that it has called this method withdraw method, and you are now printing this money. So money in line 55, just like a container that holds this method, I call this method withdraw method. Once it's called in method, you now put it inside this container, inside this money container. So on line 56, console the right line will now print this particular container. So what will be in the back of it? Let me comment this one and run. So if I run this application, to say to give me my money, that is 1,000 naira, that is what I need. So I just call this. So this is just typical example how method work. I created a method from line 50 to 53, then I call the method in line 55. You can see call console the right line money. So I can go on and give you some examples. So let me use like school result. Maybe you imagine your teacher calculating your result. Maybe you have maths. Let's say you have maths equals to 80. So this is wrong. Maths is equals to 80. You have English is equals to 70. So then gives you your total score. So let's say you are trying to calculate your total score for maths and English. So what you are going to do first, I'm just trying to use another example. Let's say you're in the school and in your score for maths you have 80, your English you have 70. So let me create a method that will calculate these two scores together. So it will be static int, it's an integer, and one of the method is calculate results. Calculate results. What am I passing? I'm passing int score in maths and int score in English. So these are only the parameters I'm passing: int maths and int English. Then I create the implementation of the method, which is int total is equals to maths plus English. Then what am I returning? I'm returning this container, which is total. So what I did in line 63 is to create a variable called total and assign it maths plus English. Once I get to calculate the sum of maths and English, I will assign it to total, and I'm going to return total as my result. So if I want to call this method, I can just equally say int result, calculate results. For maths score, we have 80. For English score, we have 70. So I now print it on my console, which is console the right line. I'm printing the results, which is this result that holds this data. So what will now be my result now be 80 plus 70, which is 150. So let me comment this one and run this application. And run this application. So you see that I've called this method calculates results, and it has given me 150 as my score. So instead of you to be writing this method multiple times, you can just create the method and call it in multiple places. So writing this method repeatedly. So a method is just like a worker you control. Like I said, I use restaurants as an example. I use a ATM machine as an example, and I use students' results also as like an example. So if methods are like a restaurant, what do you think the chef represents? The chef represents the code inside. So method in times of restaurant is like a restaurant. Then what is inside the method is the chef that is doing that, bringing the food for you, or the chef that is cooking the food and bringing it for you. That is the method. So you just to call the method, hey, give me a food. So the chef will just go to the places, prepare the food and bring it to you. So the chef is just like the implementation of the method, and restaurant is a method. So now you understand what method is in C#. So you are no longer just writing code, you are organizing logic like a read developer. So this method helps you to organize your code, makes your code clean, makes your code readable, and it can also makes you to debug very easily. So which example helped you the most? Which example did you love most among these three I gave you? Like, is it the restaurant example? Is it the school result example? Or is it this particular example, the ATM example? So if you know you enjoyed this video, please go to my comment section and type yes I do, and hope to see you in my next video. So my next video I'll be looking at arrays. My next video I'll be looking at arrays. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, make sure you watch all my videos that I've uploaded to my channel, and hope to see you in the next one.